Hey guys, welcome back to the Duke, and today I'm in a Lexus LX 470, and there's a bit of a story to how I got hold of a Lexus LX 470, and it's because I posted a short video about 30 seconds on TikTok about like the cousin to this car, the Toyota Land Cruiser LC300. And basically what I was saying in the TikTok is I was complaining about the price. And yeah, it's a 2 million rand car. And yeah, I got a conversation going about the car, and I thought, people are interested in this Land Cruiser. So I was going around, asking for a Land Cruiser, asking who might have a Land Cruiser for me to review. And yeah, I couldn't find a Land Cruiser, but what I did find is a Lexus LX 470. And I was like, close enough. It's a 2015 model. Yeah, I'm going to review it today. And yeah, I hope you guys like it. Now, while I'm in this car, navigating to where I'm going to film it, I might as well tell you about how this car rides. It rides really well. It takes care of the bumps. I'm in a decent road and I can feel its weight. It's got a 4.7 liter V8 up front, and it pulls this body along really nice. The throttle is pretty responsive. You can tell that Lexus is a car that knows what to do with its V8s. Reliable engine, can go for hundreds of thousands of kilometers. This Lexus that I'm driving has 146,000 kilometers on the clock, and it looks fresh. I'm going to take you through this car, and you'll see that it not only is a reliable car mechanically, I mean, inside this car, it looks amazing. I hope you enjoy the video, guys. Now, before I get out the car, I just want to explain why you might be seeing me like this. And I don't mean the hat and the golf shirt. And I'm not trying to go for an old money look. I just happened to dress up this way. I had a cap, but it's a bit drenched with sweat and stuff. And this was the closest thing I could find that could protect me from the sun. I am filming this in Limpopo in December. And if you know anything about the province of Limpopo in December, it's hot. So I'm just trying to take care of my skin, guys. I'm not trying to go for an old money look. I'm not trying to look like the owner of this car. But I kind of do, right? Speak it into the universe. So yeah, I'm trying this, I don't know what to call this not having a faceless account thing, or faceless YouTube channel thing. So yeah, you will be seeing a bit of my face, a lot more of my face in future videos than you have in the past. I've also got some gadgets I can stick onto the windscreen and stuff. So yeah, most of the video is gonna be me filming the car and then throwing a voiceover over what I'm filming. But wherever I can, I will try to let you see who's talking. I'm not trying to be a faceless YouTube channel. So yeah, let me get a sip of water, stay hydrated, and once I've taken my sip, I'll start filming the car, and yeah, you'll see this on YouTube after I've thrown a voice over it.
Now, before I get into talking about the car, let me just talk about the engine just for a second. Now, this is a Lexus LX 570, and the 570 comes from the fact that it's powered by a 5.7 liter Lexus V8 petrol engine. Now, this is a very reliable engine, so reliable that people operating in the taxi industry here in South Africa would very often swap out their engines that came with their Mercedes-Benz Sprinters or their Volkswagen Transporters, should they have issues with their Transporter or Sprinter engines, and replace that engine with a Lexus V8 engine. Now, that says a lot about the reliability of this engine, and often those engines are second-hand engines. So a second-hand Lexus V8 is very reliable in the eyes of people operating those vehicles than the engine that came with the vehicle that they're swapping it out from. That says a lot about its reliability. Now, as reliable as this engine is, it's also very thirsty. Now, on the highway, you're looking at about 11 liters per 100 kilometer. 11 liters on highway driving. Now, in a combination of highway and urban driving, you're looking at about 14.5 liters per 100 kilometer. Now, worst case scenario, if you're driving around town, just know that you are consuming 20 liters per 100 kilometer in this vehicle with this engine, this Lexus V8. Very reliable, very thirsty too.
Now, let me show y'all something interesting about the tailgate. So it's a split open tailgate. It's got a top half and a bottom half. So now to open the top half, you have to open it manually. It is electronically controlled, but to open it, when you open it using this method, as in through the button here, it just unlocks it. Then you have to open it manually, right? You have to use some elbow grease. But to close it, you can press a button and it closes. You're probably thinking, that's not really weird. The weird thing is this right here. There's a button on the key fob to open the tailgate electronically, where you don't have to use any elbow grease. My question is, why can't this button do that? Why can't you just press the button and let it open automatically? And the interesting thing is, you can close it automatically using the key fob as well. But this button does not open this tailgate using the motor. I don't understand why they did that, but that's the way you open a tailgate in a Lexus. So now I'll just show you the split action manually. So it is a split open tailgate where you can open the top half, bottom half, and use the bottom half as a seat for, I don't know, camping, picnics, stuff like that. Kind of like a Range Rover. I think this is kind of like a trademark of a Range Rover. I know my Toyota people will not be happy to hear me say that, but yeah, Range Rovers are known for this kind of thing. In the latest version of the Range Rover, it even has a backrest where you can sit here. This one doesn't have a backrest, but it's pretty comfortable enough. It's a seat. You can use it as a seat. So that's the tailgate. The weird tailgate of a Lexus LX 570. Now, let's talk about the third row of seats for a second. So the third row of seats can allegedly hold 3 people instead of the traditional 2. So how that works is there's 1 seat on the right, 1 seat on the left, and when you fold them both down into like their seating positions, sort of there's half a seat here where sort of the right hand side one ends, and there's like half a seat where the left hand side seat ends to form a seat in the middle. Kind of like the middle row, but instead it's foldable into a 50-50 split. And there's a disadvantage with that. So because it folds into a 50-50 split instead of like the middle row, which is a 60-40 split, there's half a seat here, half a seat there. So if you've only folded one of these seats into its seating position, you cannot really seat 2 people there because you have 1.5 seats, because otherwise there's a person sitting here and a person sitting on one butt cheek and the other's just hanging there, and that doesn't sound too comfortable. So yeah, even though it's great that it can seat 3 people, it cannot seat 2 people. So it's either you have a 3-seat configuration or a 1-seat configuration for the third row. So since there's 3 in the third row, 3 in the middle row, 2 in the front, this makes us an 8-seater, which is kind of a good thing, because usually when you have a third row of seats, you're just adding 2 extra seats. In the Lexus, you're adding 3 extra seats, which is nice. Now, to fold the seats, they fold via electricity. So I'm going to unfold that one using the buttons here. So there are buttons on the side here that control the seats. So I can fold it down by pressing this button there. And then using this latch here, I pull it up into its position, and then the seats are up. And then to fold it down, it's completely electronic. You can just do that. It folds down and then folds to the side, which is pretty nice. That you don't have to use any elbow grease, because you paid a lot of money for this car. You don't want to use too much elbow grease, but you will have to use some elbow grease to open the top half of the tailgate, unless you have the remote, the did I call it remote? The key fob with you. So you can fold the middle row up and put the seats to the side if you'd like to use the cargo space back here. And I'm just going to show you what that looks like real quick. So I'm going to fold the seats up if I can find the buttons. There we go. Fold the seats down. This all happens electronically, so I don't have to use any elbow grease for this part here. And you do have quite ample loading space. I'll put the number on the screen because I don't have the number with me right now as I'm recording this. So yeah, you can fold the middle seat out the way, fold them up, fold the third row to the sides. If you want to hold, I don't know, a chest of drawers or something back here, there is ample room for that. So another thing I like about the Lexus LX 570 is its keyless entry feature. So this is a 2015 model, so this was kind of like a thing back then, about what, 9 years ago now. Actually 10 years ago now. We're in 2025. We're filming this in 2025. It's the 1st of January when I'm filming this. So we just got into 2025, it's 10 years ago. So it has keyless entry. This is the key fob, Lexus logo at the back, lock, unlock, and we have a button for that weird tailgate. So the car is currently locked. Let me just press that so you can see the indicators flashing. The car is currently locked. So what I do like about its keyless entry is that it has a proximity sensor. Now you're probably thinking, of course it has a proximity sensor. That's what keyless entry is for. But unlike a lot of keyless entries which I have seen, as soon as you walk up to the car and it senses that the key is nearby, you don't have to press anything. You can just pull and it unlocks. See, usually with keyless entry, there's a button here which locks and unlocks the car when you're near the car. But with the Lexus, for as long as you are approaching the car, you don't have to press the button. It'll just unlock if you're close enough to the car. So let me just show you. I've locked the car now. I'm walking up to the car. I'm having a conversation, talking business, whatever, about buying a farm somewhere. And I just pull the door and get inside. Close the door. I like that. It's that little bit of luxury that you pay for a car that in 2015 was north of R1 million. Okay, now let's get into the back of the Lexus LX 570 and things just continue to get interesting back here. It doesn't have that limo feel of being at the back of a big luxury SUV. I don't think the middle row is where you want to be in this car. It doesn't quite feel like the Range Rover of its time, and I'm comparing this to a Range Rover L322, which is the 2010 version. This is a 2015 Lexus, and y'all might get sick of me of comparing this to a Range Rover, but those are the kind of cars it competes with at this price range and its size and what it's capable of. So yeah, it doesn't quite feel like I'm in the back of a luxury SUV here. My knees are pretty high and I'm not the tallest person on earth. I'm 1.71 meters tall or short, depending on who you ask. In terms of foot under the driver's seat, not much. My feet are wedged between the floor and the seat there. There isn't much room underneath there. In terms of rear entertainment, we do have 2 screens. These were optional extras, which were optioned in this car that we're looking at today. And I learned something just this past weekend. There's a reason why the screen is detached from the headrest. Because I'd always been asking myself, why don't manufacturers just integrate the screen into the seat? And there's actually a very good reason for that, and it's for safety. It's to save the passengers in front from whiplash. So if they integrated the screen into the headrest, during a collision, you'd be susceptible to whiplash because the headrest will stay in place. So the headrest is designed to break off forward in the event of a collision to stop you from whiplashing. So you should brake to keep your head there, to keep it from coming back. That's why it's separated from the screen. I only got to learn of that recently. I thought it looks tacky, but now that I know the reason, I don't think it looks that bad if it's to save my neck from whiplash. So yeah, that's it back here. Lots of leg room, but foot room not so much. Not so much underneath there. If you're wearing a size 10, 11, 12, this is not going to be the place for you in the back seat. You might want to be further there. And it gets worse in the third row. Your knees are even higher, and yeah, it's mainly outside for children back there. Here, for not so tall people, the tall people should be in front there. Yeah, that's it about that's not it about the back seat. The luxurious touch which I do appreciate with the back seat is that you can control the back seat to adjust forward and backwards electronically. So you can adjust them forward, you can adjust them backwards, either to give yourself leg room, to give the person in front leg room, or for whatever reason you might want to move the back seats front and backwards. So both the 60 portion of the middle row and the 40 portion of the back row can move forwards and backwards as you wish. And yeah, that's the middle row of the LX 570. Okay, now, so let's just round up the back of the Lexus LX 570. So with the rear entertainment, you do have inputs, AV inputs, your yellow, white and red inputs here. No HDMI. I don't think I've ever seen a car with the HDMI input. Yeah, I've never seen that. So you have your AV inputs. You also have the options of putting in some earphones in case you don't want to listen to whatever the people in the back are watching. You can give them earphones and have them plug in left and right earphones in here. And they also have volume knobs, so they can listen to their own entertainment back here with whatever volume they like using earphones. That's a nice touch. I like that. Another thing I like is dual zone climate control. Dual zone meaning two zones. Which zone? The left zone and the right zone. So the person on the left can adjust their own temperature and the person on the right can adjust their own temperature. I like that as well. Good luxurious touch for the people in the back. They can control their own temperature.
Okay, now back to the voiceover. Now looking at the driver's door, it looks a bit busy, but I think I like this kind of busyness with the leather insert there that you find also on the seats and the wooden insert there from the African babinga tree. I think that's what you call it. So it's a basic door, mirror controls, window controls, and something that's not so basic, the memory settings. So you find the memory settings in the door as well. And the front seats are also electronically adjustable. It's kind of obvious if you have the back electronically adjustable, surely the front should be electronically adjustable too. And you just have Lexus nicely written in the dorsal as well. And you have lighting for the running board so you don't lose your footing getting into your Lexus during the night. And moving further into the car, you have your suspension and terrain settings readily available in the center console and not in the infotainment system. I like how just readily available they are because this is a very capable car and it's just nice to have everything you need just readily available in the center console. And here you have a poverty switch. I don't understand why a car at this level should have a poverty switch, but you do have one. I don't know if you wanted to put in some extras or I don't know, fog lamps, spotlights, a winch or something like that, but I think that would look a bit tacky. A winch on a Lexus LX 570, not really my thing. Moving swiftly along as we get inside the driver's seat now, you'll be confronted by a multifunction steering wheel with a wooden insert. I think it's a pretty nice, mature looking steering wheel, even in 2025. And here you have the view as the driver. Pretty airy view, large windows, upright seating position. I think it's a nice place to be in a luxury SUV. The front seat is definitely a nice place to be. And you do have cruise control in this car. Behind the steering wheel there, you have your cruise control knob. And behind the steering wheel too, you do have flappy pedals to shift up and shift down. So this has an 8-speed gearbox, so you can play with those gear ratios using flappy pedals. I mean, what's a V8 without flappy pedals? Okay, it's still a V8, but I think it's a bit more fun with flappy pedals. And with a keyless entry, you do get push start, so you can keep the key of this car in your pocket at all times, and you can get in and out, switch on the car, switch off the car. And with the car switched on, you do have an infotainment system, which does have sat nav, but this is 2015 sat nav. I'm not sure if you can update it, as in if the road names have changed or something like that. I'm not sure if you can update it, and it does not have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so you're kind of stuck with the sat nav. It does have Bluetooth connectivity, but that's for calls and music, not for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. And this being a vehicle from 2015, the climate control system, or how to control the climate, is still by way of a button, the way it should be. So there are buttons for the climate control system, and to control the volume and change the station, you have knobs, which is the way I prefer them. So buttons for climate control, knobs for the volume. That's what I would prefer. So I was looking for a Mark Levison's sound system. I couldn't quite find that in this car. And I was looking for a heated steering wheel and heated and cool seats. I could only see knobs for heating up the seats, not for cooling them again. So I'm not sure if this has the luxury pack. So if this does not have a luxury pack, that would be the optional, the step up from this vehicle to get it with the luxury pack. And otherwise, that's it for my review or profiling of the Lexus LX 570. Let me know what you think of the car, guys. I pretty like this car for a car from 2015, and for a car that's based off the Toyota Land Cruiser, I think this is that touch of luxury you get from moving up from a Toyota Land Cruiser. That's all I've got for you guys for now. See you in the next video.